Hey dear people, today I want to talk about the melodic minor scale, and I also want to talk about the concept of the parent scale. That basically means one scale can help us to have many different cool sounds. We abstractly get those sounds from those scales, so that's more like the rational part of the journey. We understand why those notes belong together and where they stem from. But then the sound we create from that is going to be its own animal, its own sound that's really cool. And melodic minor is really all over the place when it comes to more modern jazz guitar playing. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you in the end of the video how you can apply it to a section of invitation. So let's talk about the Dorian scale for a start, just to get a starting point. So this would be B flat Dorian. And as you might know, the Dorian scale is on the second degree in A flat, so we can use our A flat major scale patterns to play over a B flat minor 7 chord, which I'm going to record on my looper in a second. And then what we're going to hear is going to be B flat Dorian. So basically that's already the concept of the parent scale. In this case, the parent scale is the A flat major scale, but since I'm recording the B flat minor 7 chord on the second degree, it's going to sound out like B flat Dorian. So let's hear the chord. And I can start on the B flat. This is my new root. And it's really important to train your ear to hear the new root. And that's more important to hear the new root than to start on the root. You can start on any note in the scale. You can start on the G, which would be like 13 root. So from an analytical point of view, we have the A flat major scale, but we're giving another color to it by playing another chord on our looper, and then all the notes of the A flat major scale get new telephone numbers since they have a new point of reference now, and that's so important to understand. I know many of you already know that, but I just wanted to point that out again before we're now going to change the Dorian scale into the melodic minor scale. So first of all, remember, if you know your major scale patterns, then you can also think about all those major scale patterns as Dorian scale patterns, Mixolydian scale patterns. So all the patterns can reflect any mode. Don't have to start on the root. And so if you play the B flat Dorian scale and just change the flat 7 to the major 7, then that's it. That's melodic minor. Right, so that's what I find so cool, because I had that epiphany when I have been studying jazz guitar. I knew my Dorian shapes, and then I understood that I only needed to change one note to have the melodic minor scale. And yeah, so it always is a good idea to know one thing very well. It can actually be any scale, right? And then you can sort of change a note or an interval and get the next scale, because the relationships, now I'm digressing, but I have to. So since those are all octaves, this will stay forever like this on your guitar. And if you understand from the octave to here, that's a minor third or major third, whatever it is, those, if you want to the visual information will always stay the same. So now we have the B flat melodic minor scale, and you can see the A flat of the Dorian scale change to the A. So in the B flat minor chord, we're also going to change the A flat to the A. And that gives us the first really cool sound that I like. a lot. It's the B flat minor major chord. It's B flat melodic minor on the 1st degree. I'm going to show you some nice chords. But also you could play the scale over a 6, a minor 6 chord, and you can also actually play it over a minor 7 chord. The minor chords are a little bit more flexible and they can be used in a variety of ways. So now I'm going to just play some of those chords of the nice voicings over my loop and improvise a little bit in this sound. So let's hear how it sounds. So I already have been looking while I've been playing for a little line, and I found something, and that's why I repeated it. So let's play this. So we're playing this little fragment of the B flat minor major chord. So this chord can be the one chord in a 2-5-1 going to minor. You don't have to play the melodic minor scale there, but you can, and I like the sound because I find it much more like mystifying. It's very interesting. It's like sort of what's going to happen next, so I like this sound a lot. So, but the melodic minor scale also can be a parent scale, meaning sort of give birth to different sounds. So let's start with the most popular sound that I think many of you know is the altered scale. So if we're playing an A7 chord, we can just like play the melodic minor, the B flat melodic minor scale on this chord. Let's record the chord. So I'm starting on the A. The A is now the root, flat 9, sharp 9, major 3rd. So if you want to, we have a minor 3rd and a major 3rd, root, flat 9. But we wouldn't say minor 3rd in this place, we would say sharp 9, because the major 3rd with a flat 7 is so strong. Sharp 11, flat 6, flat 7, and root. And now again, it's really important to hear the root as a root. So you can sing it, that's always a good exercise. Here's the lick again, right? Still works very well. So that's the simplest way I find to remember the altered scale, the altered sound, and we can use the altered scale on a dominant 7th chord. We can use the altered scale on a dominant 7th chord that's going to minor, so let's say A7, altered scale, going to D minor. So that would be a good place, or an obvious place. But, you know, we could also possibly play the same scale if it's going to a major chord. So this is very interesting because the dominant 7 chords can host a lot of different scales, right? It can be mixolydian, mixo sharp 11, it can be half tone, whole tone scale, can be altered, right? And it depends on the context. Sometimes one or the other scale is more fittingly, but sometimes it's also like a way to venture out and try a new sound. So that's sort of experience and trying out stuff. And now what I personally find really cool is, I think many of you know the tritone substitution. So if you have the A7 and you substitute the A7 with the E flat 7, right? This is really basically play your shell voicings and the root goes up a flat 5, and then you can play the same scale, the B flat melodic minor scale, over this chord now. Let's have an E flat 7, 9, sharp 11 chord. Let's start on the E flat, still playing the same pattern. And then we have the mixo sharp 11 scale, right? So we're still playing the parent scale for the A7 altered, and the E flat 7 mixo sharp 11 is still B flat melodic minor. That's our parent scale, right? But we're recording different sounds on our looper and getting different sounds like this, and I really love to do stuff like this. And here's another thing that I want to show you. Let's play a B flat minor 6 chord, and that's a drop 3 voicing. Just mentioning it because some people get so crazy about drop 3 and drop 2 and shell voicings and what have you, right? Drop 2 and 4, chordal harmony. All those names are names for categories of voicings, and if you work through those categories of voicings, you understand how you can come up with a lot of new chords. It's a logical way to find a lot of chords, but that necessarily doesn't mean that you want to use them all. In the end, you use the chord that you like and that work for you, and then you add in new chords after a while. But you don't go about it like, I'm going to play only drop 2 inversions for the major chord. Maybe you want to do it, but always check if it really sounds good. Now I'm voice leading it. The B flat, the root goes to the 6, the 6 go to the 5, and then the flat third goes to the root, and the 5 to the flat 5. So those 2 chords, that's a G half diminished. And the B flat minor 6, it's the same notes with a different root, so that means they're really very connected. And that's basically the same thing as if you would play a G minor chord here and play an inversion of a G minor. That would be a B flat 6 chord. I'm digressing, but let's have a look at it again. Half diminished, first inversion minor 6, minor 7, first inversion, major 6 chords. So you can also, if you have voicings like this, always think about the fact that they're more or less interchangeable, right? So now I'm having a G half diminished chord here. I can still play B flat melodic minor. And that's Lohengrin with a 9. I love this. Favorite scale over a half diminished. Here's a voicing. Guess what? It's the same voicing. Think about it. So maybe we can use this voicing for all the sounds. Check it out. So now we have like the most important sounds, or some of the sounds that we can get from the melodic minor scale as a parent scale, right? So we have patterns, and we can use the patterns to easily and quickly navigate chord changes if we understand this concept. Nevertheless, I wanted to mention, if you're, for example, starting to, let's say, have the altered month, where you're just playing the altered sound all the time, finding the appropriate chords in your scale patterns, you will probably recognize, even so the notes on your fretboard stay the same, that your fingerings will probably shift a little bit due to the fact that the root is somewhere else. So it's more flexible than you might think. And now let's discuss a snippet of invitation. I've been working on invitation a lot. I'm going to record an improvisation, there's going to be an etude, and there is already a Patreon video about the chords of invitation, how you can use the melodic minor scale on invitation, because basically if you know your Dorian scale and you know how to use the melodic minor scale patterns, then you can navigate the whole tune like this, which I find kind of interesting. But now I want to show you how cool it actually can be, and also how actually easy or even helpful it can be to know your melodic minor stuff. So I'm going to record this passage of invitation. So we're having the C chord here, F altered, and B flat. And if you have a look only at the roots, you can see that's a 2-5-1. Also, the chords are not what we expect. Still, the C minor is on the 2nd degree, so it's a 2 chord. And I like to say, if it's a 2 chord, that's not half diminished, just play the Dorian scale, that's a good choice. Then the F7, sharp 9, is going to be altered. So we're going to play the melodic minor scale a half tone higher, G flat melodic minor. And on the B flat 7, we're going to play B flat mixolydian sharp 11, and that's F melodic minor. And if you think about it, that's really cool, because you can play G flat melodic minor on the F altered chord, and then F melodic minor on the B flat 7. So basically what I'm saying, if you're having an idea here, you can just play it again, and then you get back to E flat minor. So let's hear how that sounds. Yeah, so stuff like this can happen if you sort of have the overlay of the scales, if you know the parent scales of the chords that you need to navigate, right? I hope this was helpful. Let me know how you're doing and I'll see you around. Bye.